He's a good kid. He just fights.
What was his name?
Were you like a cousin?
He's my father. I know why you didn't train me before. I wasn't ready. You was ready. Yeah, but this is different.
You gotta think about this real hard. You got people that need you now.
And that's exactly why I can't lose. If I don't take this fight, I gotta live with it right now.
That kid was raised in hate. You know what I'm talking about? You weren't.
You want to fight this man? That's your business. You don't need my blessings.
I'm taking this fight with or without you.
It's gotta be without. My son will break your boy. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
I was afraid.
What do you have to prove?
It's not about that. This. Expectations. Being the gym. You think I'm gonna lose?
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Boxing. I need you to start fighting.
Go out there and do what we came to do. It's your time, champ. It's your time to shine.
Let go of the fear. You hear me? Let go of the guilt. Let go of it, dog. Let go of whatever was. Walking over is. Go out there and be ferocious, you hear me? Be ferocious. Go out there, be 1,000 degrees.
So you gotta ask yourself, what's the valuable stuff? It's like I asked you before. What were you really fighting for? Why do you want to fight?
What you talking about? I just told you why.
No, you didn't, Donnie. Why do you want to fight? I get why they want to fight you. I know what they're fighting for. What about you?
He's, distant
These dudes killed my pops.
and
Now they parading around talking shit.
disconnected.
Can't let that slide.
Left eye completely closed.
What's up this thing?
No,
It's like nothing really matters to him right now,
I gotta prove it.
Prove what?
including me.
I'm not a mistake.
You know, there's only 3 steps into that ring. Just 3.
I lost the fight before it even started.
And tonight it's gonna look as high as a mountain.
I didn't get hurt doing anything.
Apollo didn't get hurt, he got killed. People get killed. You are your father's son, and you're part of him. But it doesn't mean you have to be him.
Right. It's about you.
It's all about you.
Hey. It's you against you.
Me against you.
That's right. He's just in your way. Get him out of the way. Let's go.
My Dame came back. You old and you broken. All this shit came back to you. We know Dame. Dame gonna have his damn list memorized. He's willing to do anything to win, so you gotta be prepared for everything. We can't turn back the clock. We can't hide all your flaws, but we can make them strengths. Where is it? See?
D, you have got to open up at some point. I don't know what else to tell you. I need to understand what is going on.
Some sad story? You trying to feel sorry for me or
No, I
something?
don't want to feel sorry for you. I want to understand you. I want to know what is going on
There's
with
nothing
you
to
in
talk
my
about.
house.
I don't want to talk about anything. I've been trying to forget it. It's dead. Leave it. Let it ride. I'm talking about that shit no more. You made him think I abandoned him. Dame treated me more like family than your 2 kids ever did in this house. And you took that away from me. Now
None of this would have happened if it wasn't for you.
Adonis Creed is the new heavyweight champion of the world! Y'all want it with the south side. Hey, 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 y'all want it with the south side. Ain't none, ain't none, ain't none, ain't none. Hey, y'all want it with the south side. Hey, 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 crank it. Y'all want it with the south side. Hey, hey, ain't none, ain't none. I'll leave your ass crispy like some frosted flakes. What you call a sneaky nigga, man? Jake the Snake. Every nigga on the street got something to say until they get sprayed in the face with a K-like mace. I don't fuck with fan niggas, let's get that shit straight. I was led by a preacher, so my mom pushed weight. Now I'm hooked up with game, real nigga with flame. The nigga show me Cali love and I ain't in no game. And the nigga that roll with me better keep it G. I'll break a vertebrae to crucial DDT. Let's get Mississippi. Y'all niggas ain't even gifted. Bust a shot at your chin and feel your top getting lifted. Jeans up, get your cheese up. Scrap and get you beat up. I fuck with G-Unit, so your whole state get their ass done. Your homeboy really going through something. I can't change, I fuck homes that'll make Maya look lame. Y'all want it with the south side. Hey, 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 hey. Y'all want it with the south side. Ain't none, ain't none, ain't none, ain't none. Hey, y'all want it with the south side. Hey, 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 crank it. Y'all want it with the south side. Hey, hey, ain't none, ain't none. Hey, the realest of niggas, I roll with them killers. Yeah, the world got feelings, my clique is gorilla. You niggas in trouble, I'm in the trap with BME clicking. You ain't gotta know I'm signed to Dre to know that he's sick. P89, that's what I handle my beef with. Put them hollow tips under your arms like speed stick. Ride through your hood in the blue Impala like we Crips. Roll down the 10G. I'm a head buster. Little scrappy when the lead touch ya. And ain't no coming back when you're dead, fucker. Sleep in your urn to get eaten by worms. Trying to fight a fire with bottled water, he'll get burned. They tapping my phones like DRE in the firm. Cause I'm buzzing like Wu-Tang and it ain't even my turn. So who would make it serve? You'll get your whole mouth wide. Fucking with them gangbangers in the south side. Y'all want it with the south side. Hey, 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 hey. Y'all want it with the south side. Ain't none, ain't none, ain't none, ain't none. Hey, y'all want it with the south side. Hey, 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 crank it. Y'all want it with the south side. Hey, hey, ain't none, ain't none. Hey, hey, hold the motherfucker up, my nigga. It's your boy Lil Scrappy, y'all. BME A-Town, my nigga gang. All the way there, baby. Calm down. You know, it's some fuck niggas in this bitch. They wanna get that ass hit. They wanna get that ass hit. Hey, hey, hey. Who you looking at? Nah, not me, nigga. Well, who you looking at? Nah, not me, nigga. Who you looking at? Nah, not me, nigga. I'm for real. Nah, not me, nigga. Hey, y'all want it with the south side. Hey, 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 hey. Y'all want it with the south side. Ain't none, ain't none, ain't none, ain't none. Hey, y'all want it with the south side. Hey, 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 crank it. Y'all want it with the south side. Hey, hey, ain't none, ain't none. Hey, south side. South side.
Yeah, we got one more real quick from a fellow ape.
Welcome to the APES, and your host this evening, Security James.
Happy Tuesday to everyone. I hope everybody's doing well. Hopefully you've had a good weekend and Monday wasn't too terrible besides all the bullshit that's going on in our, in our economy, in the markets and all that other good stuff. So, I mean, yeah, we'll live regardless. It's more of a clown show when you really think about it, and especially with everything that's going on. It is literally a replay. You might as well just put The Big Short in, started it from the beginning, and then watched it all. Now you're going to rewatch it again because that's exactly what's happening right now. But, Mr. Johnny, thank you very much for the intro. Besides that, Robert, Bleach, Teasy, how are you guys doing?
Beautiful. Fantastic.
As long as you're happy, that's all that matters, my friend.
I'm doing good, James. How you doing tonight, brother?
Oh, I hope to open some eyes, like I always do.
Can't wait, man. Can't wait.
My mind keeps on spinning in all different directions, and then it's just a matter of like, it literally a half hour before we started, Rob's just like, he's like, oh, I looked this over, and I was just like, oh, shit, I totally forgot to add these two things in here. So I went in there and added it and rearranged it, and now it's perfect.
Okay, perfect. Little revision. Gotcha.
Yeah, like literally last second. I'm good at those spur of the moment type revisions.
It's good to hear, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Bleach, how are you, my friend?
I'm chilling, man. I went to Costco today, man. I pumped my son. I helped him out get some money today.
Nice.
Yeah, man. He had a call option for what you call Costco. I went over there and I spent $400, on 3 bags of chips, and I'm like, shit, man.
You know
Fucking
what the
got
one
there.
thing about Costco is that no matter how hard you try, there's no way you're walking out spending less than $100.
Oh no, that's impossible. You're right. Unless you're walking in to just get like, a pizza and a hot dog, then yeah, it's impossible. There's no way.
But
Hey,
if you're
have you ever tried to feed murder? That shit ain't cheap, bro.
no,
I mean, the good thing is that he steals, so
yeah, but like seriously, like I walk in there with a list, to Costco. Oh, hey, this is what you need to get, and then all of a sudden that list grew by like 7 items because they said it was on sale and it really wasn't on sale.
yeah, but I stocked up on a lot of things, man. Like a lot of things that I stock up on months. So that's why the bill came a little bit higher than usual because you got to stock up, man. You got your tomato paste. They said they actually got a lot of good deals, man. Organic items that I already looked up where they come from, like the companies and like the farms and the fields that they actually get on. So some of those things are actually good in Costco, man. Like a lot, like they have a lot of good items over there.
They do. And their pre-made meal, like the dinners that they have, are excellent. If you're feeling lazy and you don't want to necessarily order out and you just want to grab something to cook and throw in the oven, you never go wrong with the pot pie.
Yeah, anywhere that you can save money, man, because you know what I mean. Like this is going crazy, man.
Oh, this is going bonkers. And which is, thank you for the segue into the show. So, as I was thinking about all this stuff over the weekend and leading into Monday, I had my kid, so my kid is pretty much glued to the TV screen playing his video games, so it gives me plenty of time to think and be creative during that time because, yeah, I'm only allowed to play video games with him when he tells me I can play. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is this? This is my Xbox. You're hijacking my shit. But no, I can only play on certain times. So I started thinking about the bank term funding program. And I started thinking about, okay, well, this is going to go ahead and this is going to wipe out like 40 to 60% of these banks. What's their foolproof plan? Well, you saw some of the ideas. Thank you, the Moose. Your name is now the Moose, by the way. No Biotech. We're just calling you the Moose. And Robert and Karina for sending me that one thing last night, but that kind of summarized everything. And I will go through this, but the one major cause for the majority of everything that's happening around you is because of overprinting. Not necessarily by us, but we pressured this country to basically continuously print and print and print and print, and forcing them to have to print and print and print to where this is spreading like a contagion, and it's spreading throughout all the markets, not just focal points of markets, it's all the markets. So on Monday, I had to drop my kid off. He had parent-teacher conferences, so of course they have a day off of school, so I had to drive him all the way to Bumblefuck Johnson, which it's an hour away from the city of Chicago, so I call it Bumblefuck, and drive him all the way out there, and then I get a phone call. And the phone call is, hey, you need to be at the Allstate Arena. We are having a seminar. This is with 3 prime brokers and their analysts. And you and your coworkers get to go ahead and grill them in a Q&A. I was just like, great. This is awesome. I'm actually semi not excited to do this because I really don't. I work from home. I could have listened to it on, Skype or some shit like that, and it could have given the same questions, but whatever. Being the good soldier that I am, I decided to go, and so I went, and I'm listening to these 3 prime brokers, one being Citibank, the other one being Goldman Sachs, and the other one was JP Morgan. And we started asking them questions in regards to, there's 8 of them that I picked that were pretty much, I think, the focal point of this. So without further ado, the slide is the first slide all the way to the right, and you can follow along with me. So, seminar I went to on Monday at 1 p.m., conducted by 3 prime brokers, got to grill the analysts for work and a Q&A for my coworkers. Why is there no alternative but to ride this market? Market trader. We are not completely competing for all-time highs anymore. The best way to describe this is the ticking time bomb for the nuke in Oppenheimer. Now you are competing against other market managers and having to play keep your money here because the slightest movement will affect the overall performance of your 401k. So playing it safe. The valuations don't make sense and will automatically impact your relative performance. And what happens as a result to this? Well, clients will pull their money and relocate it to another venture that may be somewhat safe. More like semi, probably not really safe at all. Number 2, how do brokers try to outperform each other? So I thought this was a good question to ask just because a lot of the questions that I've been getting is about how are they able to do some of the things that they do? How are they able to go ahead and basically take away from options or go ahead and try to have false locates? And how do they with FTDs and what are they doing with them? So you need to be smarter and anticipate trends which can change based upon the equities sentiment. In other words, lie. Options are the best way for this type of examination of trends, since the market maker controls 90% of the options chains, so that a particular ticker option expires out of the money. Let's use AMC for this example. You will be right in shorting it. And you can build leverage without borrowing money at these expensive interest rates. If the trend is bullish, you are better off selling those puts, while if it's bearish, you would rather sell the calls. Number 3, aren't you afraid of a sudden shock or, let's just say, a credit correction? Won't that make you lose your money on on your short puts? Well, no. You make money nine out of 10 times because the market maker dictates options movement. If you pick up a 2% premium 9 times, that's 18%. And the 10th time, you don't make money. The stock will hardly go 3 to 5% beyond your strike. So at the best, you lose 1 to 3% net. Furthermore, that has a very low chance of happening simultaneously for several positions across the portfolio. So what about a systematic shock or systemic shock? Market maker, there's a tiny chance of this happening for long stretches of time. If it does, everyone will be in trouble. Your client will hardly blame you for that hurt. And if you consider that you aren't managing your own money, you have no personal downside in just riding the wave of the market. Number 5, you're afraid of a market crash. People know that we're in a bubble. It's undeniable. But no one knows how long it can last. There's still so much money flying around that wants to find a place, and no client is interested in buying bonds and waiting for the indefinite period of time for particular stocks to go down and buy at better levels, or grab onto FOMO in the process. You'd be right for years, and you'd rather be right for years and wrong when things go wrong for everyone, rather than be against the market, lose money or opportunities during that time, and after years say you were just right. Is there no need for risk management? So this is bullshit, in my opinion. But risk management is more of a factor of remaining within the boundaries of your management mandate. All you need to do is to be fully invested and deliver the highest possible Sharpie ratio, unless, of course, you're Warren Buffett. In that case, you can do pretty much whatever you want and hold as much cash as you want without fingers being pointed at you because of that. So, in other words, if you're Warren Buffett, you can do whatever the fuck you please, and it doesn't matter what you do. If everyone's chasing the same trend, then who is taking the other side of the trade? Shocking. It's not, but I think you guys know where I'm going here. Time for an example. I want to buy a stock. My bank doesn't have it in its inventory. We know the inventory is DTCC and Seeding Company. And there is not a seller out there at a decent price. All they will have to do is borrow it from somewhere else to still close the trade. Stock lending is the way asset managers without a mandate to do the derivative extracting alpha. For derivatives, I doubt there is anyone taking the other side of the trade, so it all comes down to replicating it and hedging your risk metrics for the derivative. How is it going to end? A massive crisis down the road, for sure. Because while people now can sleep at night confident that if something goes wrong, they will be bailed out. This time, though, there's no lender of last resort. If you think about it, The Fed and central banks are maxed out. They're insolvent. China won't borrow hard money anymore as they did after 2008. Who's left? Nobody. But it will be a slow process until people figure this out. So, in other words, they're just saying that we're dumb. Literally just pointing the finger and saying you guys are dumb because you guys need to be able to spot this stuff. You need to be able to go ahead and beat the algorithm. You need to go ahead and make sure that you guys understand what exactly is going on. You need to go ahead and you need to sit there and you need to figure this stuff out beforehand. There's no way if, then, or but about it. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? I mean, you're going up against, algorithms that are dealing with this in milliseconds. You don't have a chance. There's no way that your eyes are that fast to be able to spot a market trend. There's no way for you to be able to go ahead and actually predict what this market will do. So, as we continue on in this, and then I'm going to give you guys a chance to stop afterwards, but our good friend Biotech, the Moose, D.E. Shaw, amongst hedge funds buying blind pools of bank risk. I'm not going to go into all of the SRT contracts and everything. I'm going to go into the red part, which basically is what it means for AMC holders. AMC shorting hedge funds have created millions of failures to delivered shares and carry tens of billions in securities sold, not yet purchased. I think the total amount of shares that are out there in existence are probably in the trillions, in my opinion. Some which are AMC synthetic shares. SRTs can be used to transfer risk between hedge funds or to banks to reduce their collateral requirements to avoid margin calls, but all that risk remains, and the debt still must be paid back. To make this as easy as possible, it's a swap. You're pledging collateral. In return, we're going to put this into the swap. Robert, would this, you correct me if I'm wrong, but would this technically be a bullet?
Yes, it would.
Okay. So you're putting it into, you're basically putting it into a bullet swap. So where does this yield a problem? So here, I found this very interesting. So technology stock yield versus cash yield. So this is the S&P 500 technology 12-month forward earning yield, less the 3-month U.S. Treasury bill rate. Oh, that's funny. It's now saying that cash is worth more, is greater than stocks. Interesting. I can't remember a time that we had that besides 2001, the dot-com bubble. I don't think that happened any time before that. So if you look at the chart, we're basically in line with the buildup of the dot-com bubble. We're tracking to get that low. So this is very interesting. So Karina sent this to me last night. Thank you, Karina, for sending this. But the answer, D.E. Shaw is among hedge funds buying exposure to so-called blind pools of risk sold by banks, looking to reduce their regulatory burdens. The quantitative investing giant has been using its private credit funds, primarily diopter, Probably botched that, but that's okay. To assume the risk of the loan portfolios that have scant borrower information but provided detail about the type of loans and their credit quality. According to people familiar with the matter, D.E. Shaw is purchasing credit-linked notes sold by banks that transferred the risk to buyers in exchange for a coupon payment. So we're going to coupon books, like for your auto loans again. While keeping the asset on the lender's balance sheet, banks have been pursuing these types of transactions, known as synthetic risk transfers, as they seek to lower their exposure to loan portfolios and reduce the amount of capital they must hold against assets under stricter regulation. The Federal Reserve gave further guidance about how banks could pursue such transactions to lower their capital requirements, helping unleash a fury of deals in the wake of a financial crisis that failed several regional bank lenders last year. The biggest Wall Street firms have also been using risk transfer deals to opportunistically lower their regulatory capital burdens. So let me give you the ultimate answer on this. We talked about the OCC and how when a failing member of the OCC is about to go into default, what ends up happening before the default? I'm going to go to Bleach or Teasy. Either one of you can answer this. Yeah, I'm going to test your knowledge. Maybe.
Go ahead. Say it again. My bad. I was doing dishes.
Oh, gotcha. So we talked about the OCC.
Right.
Whatever, like a month ago, when we were talking about how an OCC member, if they are starting to default or start to fail, what happens?
You're trying to get me right now? I don't know, buddy. Robert? Let's go, Robert.
No, not Robert. No, Robert knows this answer.
Oh, all right.
I want one of you.
Yeah, well.
Bleach, do you have an idea?
Bleach is asleep, man. His wife to beat him up.
I'm dealing with something else that has to go to sleep. I said if one of the members, isn't like the other branch that starts to take over that, or the insurance?
Correct. So the other banks are going to sit there and basically have to cover the risk. So that's why you don't have what is called cascading effect or the waterfall effect. It's basically the same guidelines almost. It's just with debt. Here's our good friend Biotech. The moose. The moose is on fire.
Hey, James. Hey, everyone.
Now, how are you,
good,
my friend?
Good. I was just going to tell you the answer to the OCC question. It's the OCC members are contributors to the fund, and that fund is used if one of the members defaults. The clearing fund is used to cover that defaulting member.
Correct. So making sure that there is no such thing as
margin call,
waterfall effect,
or default. Well,
yeah,
they're going to stop them from being margin call, or save them from the margin call and save them from being liquidated.
Correct. So there's the perfect example that I'm going to give you guys about this. And so this basically, what they're doing is the Fed is saying, okay, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to just start wildly printing. I mean, literally, we're just going to print and print and print and print and print. Now, the problem when you do printing, and you're in an inflationary period, well, as interest goes up, that means the price of the debt goes up, meaning you have to print more for it. So now, even if profits rise, you're still having to pay for the ultimate printing. So this process and how this thing started was basically us giving the playbook to our good friends, Japan. The Nikkei has reached a record high of 40,000, but this does not reflect the economic reality of Japan. The Bank of Japan has been pursuing an ultra-loose monetary policy for years, but it has failed to achieve its inflation target of 2%. Instead, it has created distortions in the financial markets and an increased risk of debt crisis. There are two main factors that prevent the Japanese yen, JPY, from weakening significantly against the dollar. One, the strong demand from foreign investors who buy the Japanese yen to invest in Japanese stocks. This inflow offsets the effect of the Bank of Japan's money printing and keeps the Japanese yen relatively stable. Number two, the incorrect assumption that the Bank of Japan will soon exit its negative interest rate policy and its yield curve control program, which would strengthen the Japanese yen. But this assumption is wrong because raising interest rates would increase the cost of servicing Japan's public debt, which is over 250% of its GDP. This would require more money printing to cover the deficit, which would weaken the Japanese yen. Therefore, the current situation is unsustainable and unstable. The Bank of Japan will have to face a difficult trade-off between maintaining its monetary stimulus and avoiding a debt crisis. The Japanese yen is likely to depreciate in the long run, but the timing and magnitude of this adjustment are uncertain. I can tell you it is uncertain of when this is all going to hit, but I can promise you there's one thing that from reading all this stuff and going down these rabbit holes, that there's one thing that I did find. It's not a matter of when it's going to happen. It's a matter of it's going to happen regardless of whatever they try to do. There is no stopping this. So I don't know if you've ever wondered about unwinding. So doesn't the unwinding of the Japanese yen carry a trade market or trade make the currency stronger? Unfortunately, no. And the reason being is because the derivatives that were used to hedge the carry trading against the risk of the Japanese yen appreciation, those derivatives are now very unprofitable and hidden from the balance sheet. So you don't see the Japanese yen carry trades being closed, even though the funding cost has gone up and by a lot in the last year. The leverage didn't go down even though the Japanese yen depreciated, creating more Japanese yen debt in a system that what the official data shows, but Japan is not the only one to blame. It's time to start pointing the finger. So we're going to point the finger at us, the USA, Germany, China, and because we're all guilty of it. But as
James,
I said,
can I just jump in here? If you want to spread the blame around a little bit, Japan has its negative interest rate policy, it's NERP, but the European Union, Switzerland, Sweden, Denmark, and Norway also are pursuing this negative interest rate policy just like Japan. So Japan is just sort of, they've been doing it longer, and to a deeper degree than these other countries.
A way deeper degree.
But
Deeper
Japan's
degree.
not the only one. That's just what I wanted
Oh,
to
I
add
know
there.
that. Oh, I know. And you're right. You are 100% right. The one problem is that Japan is the one that's going to feel the burn a whole lot faster than anybody else. So, and normally that's how a recession starts. It's going to start, let's just say it starts in Japan. It's going to go through everywhere else before it gets to the United States. But we will be in the worst period of this. And that's normally how history goes. So, as I've said 1,000 times, you're going to hear me say it one more time. This is 2008 times 10 and on crack. What I found interesting was on Monday, you had the Depository Trust Company. So this is for member updates. So this is effective with the close of business on March 8th, 2024. Industrial and Commercial Bank of China Financial Services, LLC, will retire the following additional accounts. Industrial and Commercial Bank of China Financial Services and Clearing. Poof. Gone. What this leads to is basically when we're talking about, we've all talked about it, and you've heard me talk ad nauseum in regards to the commercial real estate problems and how the commercial real estate is going to be the new 2008. Well, unfortunate for that, residential mortgages want to kind of come back into the fold. So here's the housing problem. And follow along with this because this is all going to pertain to you. U.S. housing has several indexes to remove the assumption risk of just using one. I have merged 4 different data points, all normalized from January 1st of 2000. This is using Case-Shiller, Zillow, all home sales, and home sales priced averaged versus new home sales price average. The weighted average house price is only one piece to this puzzle. The price combined with mortgage rates calculates the mortgage cost. I'm going to say that again. The weighted average house price is only one piece to the puzzle. Price combined with mortgage rate equals the mortgage cost. So we have a median house price and the median 30-year mortgage rate. We can calculate the median mortgage cost. This is important as we need to compare the median mortgage cost to the median household income. So we're going to do an assumption, which is basically a 10% deposit on the purchase of the home. And so that means that you would have a 90% loan to value. So with this, and as you see these charts, median household income and monthly payment for median new home loan. If you notice, they're on the same trajectory. They're all going north, diagonally north. We can now look at the share of the income going to the mortgage and compare it to historical data. Generally, this is recommended. Most brokers, loan officers are going to recommend that you have 25 to 35% of your income going towards your mortgage. And this is depending on if your income is pre or post tax calculated. So by doing so, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to assume that a flat 20% tax rate over every period. So you have that share of post-tax income spent on mortgage with averages. So the average, so the blue line is your share of income on the mortgage. The orange is from 1980 to 2021, and this is 39%. The black line represents the average of 1990 to 2021, which is 36%. Yellow, 2000 to 2021, 34%. And the blue is from 2010 to 2021 and 30%. So this clearly shows that the median American needs to spend 50% of the post-tax income on a median house mortgage. That's fucking crazy. And it's pure insanity. Throw in a home and taxes, and the costs are extreme. So actually, the costs aren't extreme. The costs are unaffordable, and you never qualify for the mortgage. Here's why. You have a debt-to-income ratio for conventional, for FHA, and for VA. The max debt-to-income that you can have on a conventional mortgage per bank basis is 50%. You can't go 51, can't go 52. No, they won't let you do it. It's past guidelines. No underwriter will approve that. So 50% is your cut. So there's that. FHA, you can go up to 57.8 on an underwriting guideline. That is your max. 55 is the threshold. 57.8 is your max. And on a VA, your max is 60%. So as of right now, this is just the house. This is not including your auto loan, your credit cards, your student loans, your everything else that you have to pay for. So if we look at a median household income and rates, we can calculate that the median American household can afford it's $450,000. But with the current household income and the mortgage rates, the median household can only afford a $300,000 house with a 10% deposit. If the median's $450,000, do you see the problem? Do you see a problem here? I mean, it should be clicking in your head. Hey, Lantern, turn off your mic. So with here, you're going to see the RHS, which is highlighted in gray. You're going to see the housing price and the actual capacity. And below on this chart is a list of dates ranging basically from, it's like 1978 to now. And you can see this is based upon what is affordable. So how do houses become more affordable? Well, there's only three ways. One, income can increase by 44%. I don't think that's going to happen. Mortgage rates can drop by 3.3%. I don't think that's happening right now either. The prices of homes can drop 31%. Realistically, a combination of all three have to occur. If the house prices fall or unemployment rises by a significant amount, pushing wages down, the Fed will be forced to cut rates. This will improve affordability for those remaining in the workforce. But this leads to a bigger problem, and that's the supply versus the actual demand. Demand is historically weak, not just outright, but it is even worse when adjusting for population. If the demand is weak, why are prices holding up? Pretty simple. Supply is even softer. So below you'll see a chart where you're going to see the actual mortgage applications over this period of time. The threshold is just below 160. So the supply is currently historically low per capita. However, with the upcoming construction completions, Airbnbs, and the softening economy landing to force sales, supply will skyrocket. New builds are already over buyer's market, monthly supply, and this will get worse. The image shows under construction homes significantly outpacing completed. So ghost inventory is actually a real thing. So if you look below this came directly from the Federal Reserve, the Fed. So these are privately owned home housing units under construction, total units. Privately owned housing units under construction, units in buildings with 5 units or more, which would be past guidelines. You would have to go commercial at that point. Privately owned housing unit completed, this is single family units, and the privately owned housing units completed, and that's the total units. And so each one, top one, purple line. Second one, green line. Third one, blue line, red line. True numbers. This leads to an exposure to the banks and their lending. Unfortunately, this has caused banks to be more stringent with their normal lending, as the banks do not have significant liquidity to lend. Why is that? You've heard me say it 1,000 times too. HTM, hold to maturity, aka hide to maturity, with the commercial real estate sector. This isn't just a problem in the US. No. Germany, China, Japan. This is a problem when that rehypothecation leads to. And this is your commercial bank assets and liabilities chart. And this is through all commercial banks and industrial loans, SLOOS banks reporting tightening C&I standards, RHS. As you can see, there's contraction everywhere. When you get past zero, when you hit zero, that is a contraction point. So contraction points are everywhere. Signaling recession everywhere. These 4 charts that are below this will indicate, one, the Fed's recession gauge for nearly a 40-year high. Double line Sherman sees deep slump. So the New York Fed's recession gauge, 67.31% right now. Leading economic indicator index versus the S&P. Oh, hey, they've been tracking each other really identically. Real gross domestic income year over year, a percentage change from a year ago in real gross domestic income, entering contraction as we speak. Before that, we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 times. Now, let's go to industrial product year over year percent change from a year ago in industrial production total index. So contraction ends up in recessions. The only exception was in 2016, I believe. Yeah, that's 2015, 2016. Only exception. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times for contraction periods. This is what it comes down to. The Bank of Japan had the chance to stop all of these catastrophic turn of events from starting a snowball. But of course, the political and social cost to do so would have been very high, not only for Japan, but for its allies. Of course, that puts America in the spotlight, high, as who was the biggest bondholder of our debt? Well, it was Japan, previously held by who? China. What a coincidence. So, because Japan at the time was the US biggest holder of our debt, we needed the Bank of Japan printing press to keep rumbling to avoid the collapse of their own domestic financial bubbles, starting from who? Well, yes, I'm going to raise my hand. It was me, America. I hope you all see how this spiderweb of criminal interconnected economies and how dirty all the financial institutions are. But they've made one thing crystal clear in my eyes. The end game is now inevitable, and it will be a matter of when, not if. I leave you all with this from the famous economist John Maynard Keynes. He once said, the difficulty lies not so much in developing new ideas as in escaping from old ones. Will the world be able to escape from the old paradigm of money printing and debt accumulation, or will it face the inevitable collapse of its economic system? It's a good question. It really is. But then you have our good friends at Bloomberg, which I have no idea. I have no idea what they're trying to do in any way, shape, or form. None. This guy definitely, if you haven't seen this clip, it's 5 minutes and 18 seconds. This guy totally paid. I don't care what anybody says. This guy just definitely said, "Oh yeah, I'll spit your bullshit. Here, just you pay me. I'm on. My hand is under the table. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge." I mean, you're dumb. I mean, there's no way you could even say any of this. None. And it doesn't make any sense. None of it. There's no way that you're predicting a soft landing. Unless that soft landing is trying to land your plane into a desert and it's full of sand hills, and you're literally coming down as fast as possible. That thing is going to snap in half, that plane. I can tell you right now, there is no surviving that.
I'll tell you this. Biden makes more sense than that guy.
Who, Biden? What? President Ice Cream?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, good old President Ice Cream. He, I heard him talk the other day, and he was talking about how wonderful Biden economics is. I was just like, what is Biden economics? Really, is it a recipe to make ice cream? I mean, is it the secret ingredients to make your inflationary comfort cream? I mean, what is it? There's no explanation.
It's probably because you got to be frozen for it to be, standing up, and then when it's all melted, it's just Biden economics.
I guess. I mean, can you post that article that you sent us I think this was earlier, Robert, with Jerome Powell on it?
Yeah, I got you. Let's see.
Hey, James, check the DMs, man. $6 I said that.
Ha!
Yeah, I saw that too.
Okay, you just go ahead and afford your yen, your currency, please. Please post it up above.
Yeah, please, because that goes into all of the stuff that he's talking about.
Please.
Hold on, I will have to post that shit. Hold on.
That's fine. Post it. Post it because everybody needs to understand what I just went over is the exact same reason why they can't. Because they overprinted the yen and they kept on printing and it kept on printing. And now that you've raised your people's income by giving them all raises to try and fix your hyperinflation problem, which of course is being censored, and you have our media that's talking about stagflation over there, which that is the perfect definition of hyperinflation of what, and that's what Japan is dealing with right now. If you look at this, this is what they're trying to say. They're trying to say that they need to get rid of the negative interest rates and basically, I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea. You're just blowing money. This is not going to end well in Japan at all.
Is that the one that you're talking about, by the way, on the Nest?
Yeah, this one right here. I don't see anything. All I see is a blank thing. The Jumbotron doesn't like you, Robert.
Yeah.
The Jumbotron does not like you. Just put it over in the comments. Put it in the comments, and I'll put it up there.
Copy link. All right, got you. All right, it's on the link on the comment section.
I probably should get out of it, and then maybe I'll go back into it.
Oh no, it does not like me at all.
It does not like you at all. So, I don't know why. Why did somebody change the title? Who put 24-hour AMC? I definitely did not put that.
I know.
Not here
I know
either.
who did it.
Was it Bleach?
Hell yes, Bleach.
What?
What's 24 hours?
Was not me.
Well, I know you didn't. Well, it could only be the two right here. Either Bobby or Bleach.
Yeah, Robert, what you doing now, man?
I didn't do anything.
No, Bobby.
Take up the 24 hours.
We got a problem.
Right there, man.
Yeah, whoever put that 24 hours bullshit in there, I ain't going for 24 hours. There's no way I possibly could.
That's the point, bro.
Yeah, oh, please, God, no. I don't want to. Top economists who called the 2008 housing crash pour cold water on a soft landing, pointing to rate hikes and a softening labor market. I'm going to fix the title. Top economists who called the 2008 housing crash shit on the soft landing, making sure that rates are hiked And labor markets are complete and utter lie. Yeah, that sounds much better. Because, one, your labor numbers are false. I've gone over that 100 times. I don't need to go over it again. But your labor numbers are false. That is what is keeping your. That's why it's called CP lie, not CPI. So that's what's keeping those numbers in check. But the minute you have a credit crunch, and we all know that credit crunch is coming, and it's coming really fucking soon. And once it does, that gets exposed, which will then expose your CPE, which will then actually expose the actual inflation. And then you will realize how much of a goddamn crook President Ice Cream is, if you haven't realized that already, or unless you're living under a rock. I'm sorry. But from a guy that looks at literally the economy all day long, I mean, I swear a kindergartner could do a better job at handling the economy than this guy can. I swear. It's maddening. It really is. And that, I don't care who spotted 2008. Here's the problem. You didn't tell anybody about it. You kept it so that you could profit off of your own greed, instead of trying to go ahead and actually help your fellow man, going ahead and actually telling the American public what was going on. You weren't screaming from the rooftop saying, hey, this is a huge fucking bubble. We need help. No, there was none of that. You took the money, and you, in hopes that the government would actually go ahead and rectify the situation, would go ahead and reform the SEC, reform the NMLS, making sure that the Dodd-Frank Act wasn't a bunch of bullshit, and actually being able to expose the derivative trades, not just showing 1%, 2%, a maximum of 3% across all the banks. You will see a maximum derivative exposure of 3% that's being traded in a lit. Everything else is dark. All I know is that there should have been hundreds of people that went to jail during that period of time. And only, 8? Right? Hold on. So you had a total of, 7 or 8. It was 7. 8. Sorry. Forgot the guy at Deutsche Bank. You had 8 people that made money, while the rest of the public basically lost their home, lost their jobs, lost their livelihood, probably their marriage, everything, because you wanted to profit off of greed. That article to me is just a big load of horse shit, because don't lie. Just be honest. Tell the truth. Be blunt. Explain to people why this is going to happen, how it's going to happen, how to protect yourself in some way, shape, or form. In 2008, you had none of that. None. And you woke up to a shitstorm. And people saying, what do I do? One of the biggest problems and the biggest differences between America and China, just so you guys all have a conception of this. In America, you go ahead and you get a loan. Let's just say you were to default on that loan. After 7 years, it gets wiped off your credit report. So then this way, the bank can loan it to you again. So you buy up everything that you possibly can. It doesn't matter. It's basically you can get it for free. You just have to default on it. That's the American way. In China, you can't do that. If you default on a loan in China, that is on your permanent record for life. And not only are you affected, but your family members, anybody associated with you, is also affected as well. And that's how you become poor in China. And your name is smeared throughout the ages, all because of one mistake. So don't fuck up in China. And the biggest problem that you have is that all these millennials and Gen Zs that basically wanted to study abroad, they went over to America. They studied in, the American colleges and all that. They go back to China, and that's how contagion spreads. So now our ideals and all that stuff, because they were living here, they tried to adopt them into China, and of course that doesn't work. And so you're fucked. But the one thing that screams to me in all of this is that here we are as basically the people in charge. We'll just call America the people in charge. We are the people in charge. We basically go ahead and we tell China, oh, hey, you guys, don't worry. You just do this, and this. And this way, we'll make sure that you're okay. And then we go to Japan. Japan, you need to keep your printer on and keep on printing that yen. And you need to keep on repurchasing the bonds, because we need a reason as to why we need to prop up our markets and prop up our dollar to compete with you. So you're just going to keep on doing that. And Germany over here, I know, we have a problem with our debt right now. So I want you to go ahead and purchase some of our commercial properties so you can take it off of the debt off of our books. And don't worry, we'll come up with a way to try and help you. But yet here we are in the background talking amongst ourselves. Well, hey, we just got out of the shitstorm, but we fucked everybody up. And that's basically what happened. That's that in a nutshell. We saved our ass for the time being, but we just fucked up Japan, we fucked up China, we fucked up Germany.
What the U.S. is pretty much trying to do is kill the growth that China is trying to compete with us. And we said, fuck it, we're just going to throw it in overdrive and fuck everything up so that they can't grow.
Correct. There's no possible way, shape, anything that they can do to try and fix this. You have Japan that's trying to go ahead and basically, evidently they talked to Janet Yellen. They asked her to go back to, the mushroom restaurant, have some mushrooms, sprinkle some fairy dust on their everything to try and fix it, because it worked so well for us here. Hey, I may be wrong, I may be off in the numbers, but hasn't our debt increased by $3 trillion in 100 days?
Right now, the pace of it is $1 trillion per 100 days. But you are correct, per year.
So there's 356 days in a year. So it's increased so far $3 trillion since the debt ceiling crisis, because the debt ceiling crisis really didn't happen in June. So everybody understands this. It happened in January.
So I wonder how they're going to try fixing this.
Barf. I mean, barf.
This is the easy fix, man.
All I know, all I'm thinking about right now is Mo Mohammed and him saying Munces. It's Munces. Don't worry about it. The Munces.
This is the easy fix,
I'm
man.
trying to. Oh yeah, well, Bleach. You know, I know I'm voting for you for the integrity position in Teasy's government, but what is the easy fix?
You know, the easy fix is that they're gonna print their way out of it, like we all know that they're gonna do,
How?
right?
Well, they can't print. You see, that's the problem. You
They're gonna find
print,
a way.
you increase
You
rates.
know, they're gonna find a way. They're gonna say fuck you to a lot of people. They're gonna print their way out, and then they're gonna introduce whatever currency they're gonna introduce. You know, if that's the new digital dollar, if that's the new CBDC, that's when it's gonna come in, when it's in the absolute worst.
I see another thing happening that's more unfortunate than that, but this is where your pension funds come into play, and your 401ks and your IRAs and your CDs. That's when those come into play. Why? Because they will bleed those fuckers dry before they even try to fix any of these problems.
I think they're going to do a bail-in.
Well, that's bail-in's another thing, but that's the bail-ins. It has to deal at a bank level. I'm talking about trying to fix the whole basically monetary system, and the only way they can do that is by bleeding those pensions dry.
Yeah, true.
That's the only way, because you can't print. You print, you're going to have to excessively print, as we learned in Japan. Because as rates start to go up, you have to cover the cost if they and on top of it, now that you've given the people raises, now you have to print more to cover those raises. Then you have to cover the interest rate hikes. Then you have to cover the actual debt. And let's not talk about the actual
negative carry.
Yeah. Now you have the actual depreciation of the yen that you still have to make sense of.
Wow. It's wow.
Wow. Exactly my point. There's no simple fix to any of this. And that's the ultimate problem. So what else can happen? Well, what has to happen, no matter how you look at it, is you are going to see the greatest rug pull that you will ever see in your lifetime. There's a reason why these CEOs in the Mega 7 are selling their stocks. There's a reason for it. I can tell you what that reason is. It's because they know what the fuck is coming. So why would me, as a CEO of a company, I'm going to go ahead, if I can sell my stock at the peak that you're never going to see before, and come out with a couple $1 billion in my pocket? Fuck yes, I'm going to take that. Because at least I am keeping my company alive during the super dark times. I mean, and that's the God's honest truth.
Go ahead, TZ.
No, I was just gonna say too. So you were talking like more of the government trying to balance, everything that's going on with the crisis, the financial and the housing. But on top of it, on the back end, they still have to worry about infinity squeezes. So
Oh,
what?
I haven't gotten to that part yet, because there's That's
So it's like, why wouldn't they just give up and just fucking? If I was
they can't.
if I was the I wouldn't be doing no bailouts for nobody. I'd let these motherfuckers burn.
The problem is that you can't. They can't. They can't stop and just say, "Okay, here you won. Here's why." It's because the amount of money that they would get back in taxes isn't even. It's probably not even a quarter of the amount that they've spent trying to hold this.
Yeah, for sure.
They are, and forget your what's it called, the new whatever, the capital gains tax for, you have the distance now. I mean, you guys have time. The time is already in your guys' account. You're past a year. Gotta be for the
Not all of
majority.
them, but yeah.
I mean, how much longer do you have?
I don't know. I just bought a shitload the other day. I ain't gonna lie.
So okay, well then
Taxes.
you
My
have a
taxes came
full.
back.
Yeah, you have the capital gains tax. So the big one, but like I know in my 4 accounts that I have my one that does the purchases for the most part. That one has what, I think 3 months
Yeah, I
left.
have 80% of mine. 80% of mine are past the 1 year though.
Yeah, mine's like 92% is past a year. I only have one account that has the the new capital gains. I'm trying to find this one chart, and this is, I have to go into my actual pictures because there's no way I'm gonna fucking find this thing otherwise. What
What happened to Robert?
I don't know. He's somewhere. I'm looking at pictures, so I can't like do anything. Bleach, help him out, and then I'll move him over to the co here shortly. Okay, so because this will basically explain when the actual debt ceiling actually happened. And here's the bullshit that they try to tell you.
Yeah, they're DDoSing, just so you know.
Who shot who in the what now?
They're DDoSing, so watch out.
What do you
I
mean?
just got swiped. I just got taken out.
Oh, I thought you were getting yelled at for bedtime.
Oh no, they just took me out.
They just booted
Yes,
you?
they did.
Das Boot? Oh, das Boot. They don't like when I tell the truth. Dude, you laugh about that shit. There was one night I was with Christina, and I will tell you, it was 5 times in a row.
They were
like, I literally opened the space, and like 3 minutes later, they shut it down.
You have no idea.
They were crushing me the other night.
They don't like the tooth. And that means truth. Come on, stupid chart. Where be is you? I know I speak English so goodly.
Hey, give me co-host because I'd rather that they take me out than take out the whole channel.
That's a good point.
Robert sacrificed himself, man. He's a true ape.
Yeah, I'll go to war with him anytime. That's because, is Bleach still trying to put kids to bed?
Probably.
We'll take it as yes.
No, I'll take that. That silence is a definite yes.
He got them all hyped up on them Costco snacks.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Now they won't go to sleep and shit.
All that spending at Costco.
Es azúcar.
Where the hell is this chart? And I didn't think I was going to need this, but yeah. so long ago. But it's so imperative that I actually do find this. Dun, 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 dun. But anyway, if you guys want to open the floodgates, please go ahead. We can answer questions as I'm perusing through my phone for the debt ceiling chart.
I do have a question. Well, I do want to say something. I wonder if they're using the risk transfers as a way to get themselves out of this loophole for cat NMS.
Well, they have to.
Oh, true.
I mean, that's pretty well apparent.
So Robert,
yeah,
I was reading an article that was talking about the systemic risk transfers, and they said it was, it's the big hedge funds and banks that are using this to get around. I don't know about this at all. Maybe you know about it. They were talking about Basel Endgame.
The Basel was it Basel
3?
Yeah.
Yeah, Basel 3 Endgame.
Yeah, so Basel 3 Endgame has more stringent collateral requirements for the banks. So they've come up with this SRT, and all the banks are jumping on and using it. And I saw a graph that showed there were right now, as of 200 at the end of 2022, there was 220 billion US in SRTs. 220 billion.
Damn.
And it's been going up for the since COVID. The amount of SRTs being entered into, like sharing of the risk assets, has been increasing every year. And I'm sure I didn't see the 2023 numbers, but I'm sure they're even higher than 220 billion, 217 billion.
Fuck, man. But how they even testing that with all the collateral?
They need to put the barf emoji in the heart instead of having the laughing, the shocked face, or the crying face. They need to add the barf face for when somebody says something that you just didn't want to hear. Thanks, the moose. Up above in your jumbotron, here is the cash balances of the Treasury. So if you look, you're basically out of money. Yeah, I mean, you're basically out of money in the beginning of the year. This indicator line is based upon when it was totally out of money, supposedly. But the actual Treasury was out of money in January. This is why you saw during this time, I don't know if you guys remember, but do you guys remember like the VA's was it like the investment accounts for the VA or for veterans? They had like this 90-day window, and same thing for like government pensions. Like if you worked for the for UPS or you're a government employee, you weren't able to access any of your trading accounts for like a 90-day period. Anybody remember this? I'll take the silence as no. So you're basically going ahead and you are going ahead and you're basically putting a time period where they were funneling money just to go ahead and actually support the Treasury and their cash balances. This is why veterans weren't able to trade. Vets, postal workers, all them weren't able to access their accounts during this blackout period because they had no money. Binford Man Kitchen, how are you?
Good evening, everybody. I apologize. I totally missed the beginning of your meeting. The old man fell asleep again.
I'm so happy I was able to keep you awake there, buddy.
No, I woke
The
up.
excitement got to you.
Yeah, I woke up and I was like slamming my fist, and I was like, "God damn it!" Because I fell asleep on the one space and the beginning of your space, and I was just like totally old manning it, and I hate it. So
You know what? There's a time where old manning, it has to happen.
yeah, no, well, I had a long day of bookkeeping. That always bores the shit
Isn't
out of
that
me.
fun?
But keeping it on topic, I think it was Biotech that was hitting on what I was going to say or going to ask. Can't they just didn't they just print money to keep the that thing that he was talking about just going, and can't because what I was saying a couple weeks ago when I was talking to you about what can they do to kick the can down the road, and then all of a sudden they're hiding in each other's basements, huddling together, protecting each other's debt, all that shit, and and here comes a Fed, giving them money to to last a little bit longer, just as a scenario, not as a actual visual. Is that what's gonna go on here for a while, or
They can't. There is no backdoor printing, and the reason being is because you're in your quantitative easing or quantitative tightening. Sorry, you're in your QT right now. Can't do it. There's no backdoor printing of money that they can do. But let me rephrase that. They can do the backdoor money printing, but they can't do it when the bank term funding program ends. So if the bank term funding program is still active, which it's active for another 6 days, so you got 6 more days of some backdoor printing, but they can't like keep this excess amount of printing in, their shoe or put it into a safe called Cassius King. They can't put it there either.
so the doors are going to get kicked in, and we can start pulling them out into the light in 6 days?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much. That would be the time period for when, if you ever wanted to cut the head off the snake, that is the perfect time to do so.
I'm waiting. I can't wait. All right, I'll sneak back down. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss that part.
You are good, my friend. But if you wanted to go, you can always pull. I have the link up above where you can go ahead and you can save it and all that. So this way you can, hopefully learn from it.
What do you mean? What link?
So go up to the first slide.
First slide.
On the very right.
Yeah, far right. First slide.
Oh, bookmark, yeah. Right?
Yeah, you could bookmark it or you could go ahead and, just save it to whatever. I made it for you guys.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add to SR's question and comment there that you have to realize where these synthetic risk transfers are going. Like if the system is still full of criminals, still full of psychopaths that are going to engage in really risky business, they're still shorting, they're not going to stop shorting. It could result in multiple banks relying on each other as counterparties or relying on a small handful of hedge funds, bigger hedge funds as their counterparties that they're paying the premium to offload their risks. So it actually would tend to amplify the overall impact and likelihood of a widespread collapse within the financial system, right? It's like you're piling on more risk, and it's sort of being hidden in these other pockets, right? these other hedge funds and other
Dog
banks are
shit
hiding
wrapped
each
in
other's
cat.
risk, right? So
Yeah.
again, right? So if you have multiple banks doing this, you could end up with a multiple of defaults in what I would call is this SRT market. You're going to end up with no liquidity. It'll be like James said before. It's sort of that domino effect. If you get 3 or 4 of these SRT contracts failing, it results in a huge loss of liquidity, and then anybody looking at these will not want to enter into another SRT transaction. I mean, that's the first thing that's going to happen. No one's going to want to take on this risk out there, and it's like a big Ponzi scheme for risk, hiding all these bad bets and short positions.
Let's think of it this way, the Moose. Yeah, you should change your name to the Moose. But I like the name the Moose. Anywho, but think of it as musical chairs, and one chair just gets pulled out, and another chair gets pulled out, and there's only one chair, but there's 5 people that need to get to one chair. You ain't squeezing 5 asses on one chair, let me tell you.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically what's going to happen is you're going to have if the bank defaults, then the hedge fund is taking a hit, right? It becomes one of the creditors in line trying to get, and it's an unsecured creditor, by the way.
Oh yeah,
and that's what SRTs. You're an unsecured creditor in that bank that just defaulted. So it's good. It's going to get interesting to see how many hedge funds actually take on. Like if it's increased from 217 billion throughout the remainder of 2024, and if we're seeing a spate of mid-sized banks that fail in the U.S., it'd be really interesting to see how many of those banks were trying to offload their risk into these SRTs and how many more hedge funds will fail.
I'm going to guess. I'm just going to guess. But if I had to, I would say, let's just think of the sponsorships that JP Morgan took on. There was like 4,200 hedge funds and family offices that they sponsored. I'm going to go like 3,500. Yeah, I would go right around there. And the reason why I'm saying such an egregious number is because I want everybody to think you're on a boat. All of you, we're all on a boat. All of a sudden, there's a hole. One person goes to try and plug it, and I tell you, you don't plug that hole. You come to me and you're saying, well, we'll sink. I say, don't plug that hole. Someone eventually is going to go ahead and say, I'm plugging that fucking hole. I'm not dying. It's eventually going to happen. But what happens is that the boat still sinks and all of us, we die. It's the exact same thing of what's going to happen with your hedge funds, your family offices, and this will also include your banks. And why I talked about this cascading effect or waterfall effect, where it's going to hit every single one of them, is because those are the guidelines for the OCC. And as you have a defaulting member in the OCC, that other bank has to go ahead and help them out to make sure that they don't default. Now, if that one becomes a problem, then the other members have to go ahead, and it causes basically a waterfall. And all of a sudden, the floodgates open, and whoosh, and they're all gone. And you are the one problem that they never wanted to deal with. I love being a thorn on somebody's side. Let me tell you, is one of the greatest feelings in the world, especially when you're fucking right. And I can tell you right now, I'm going to be Homer Simpson, literally on the floor, sideways, running in a circle. I'm going to record it, and me going woo, woo, when I see what happens because of it. I know we weren't wrong. We were all just early. But the one thing, like I've always told you guys, I would never have traded this time in for anything in the world. None of it. Spending it with you all has been honestly one of the greatest things that I could possibly have ever had the pleasure of, being there with. Because the friendships forged, all the experiences, all of even the drama, even some of the bullshit, even some of the bad times. And listening to people having the problems and everything else and being somewhat of, a shoulder to basically go ahead and help out whatever way I could. Give them information or tell them this is what they need to do. And you know what? I wouldn't give this time with you all. I wouldn't give it away in any way, shape, or form. And what they didn't want was for us to learn. That's it. You now understand their ways. You understand what they're doing. You understand their terminology. They can't sound like they're the smartest guy in the room anymore by using their big words. Because if you hear certain phrases or certain terms, you can now say, bullshit. You're wrong, and here's how you're fucking wrong. This is what I learned. That was the biggest thing that they didn't want you to have, is the knowledge. So that they could pull the rug under your eyes, over your eyes. They never wanted that. But now they got it, and they got it by the shitload. And it couldn't be a better feeling in the world. Couldn't be.
And James, I just want to point out, a lot of us are sort of self-taught. I certainly don't have a background in economics or finance. And then I was thinking about it. Well, you have these young kids that are 19 to 22 going through college, and then they go into an MBA, which is 1 year usually, which is in the college, that's 8 months. That's 2 terms. We've been at this for 3 years, learning about swaps and spoofing and sell ladders and SRTs and credit default swaps and bullet swaps. I've learned more in 3 years holding on to my AMC
than any one of those MBA students.
Than any one of those other students. Like, all of these young kids, they'll join a firm like Citadel, a hedge fund like Citadel, and they're learning on the job, right? So I would put up some of the people like you and Matt and Whisper and AMC Bigums. I will put up. There's so many people that are in holding AMC that know just as much or more than what's going on with this play than people supposedly with MBAs.
I would love to challenge, I would love to challenge Kramer. Like, I really would. And just, he's an idiot. In my personal view of him, he is an absolute moron. If you actually looked at his track record, you see it's at negative 86% from what he predicts. That's not a trader.
He's a media shill, James.
I understand
told
that.
To give the wrong advice because they're pumping and dumping all the time through Jim Cramer.
I understand that, but the whole point of me wanting to go against him is to get the why. I don't care about this is what your boss says. You that supposedly have a degree in economics, that has a degree in stock trading, that could basically go ahead and understand everything that we're talking about here, but yet you're going back on that on your code of ethics for $1. Explain that to me. Because regardless in any form of financial license that you're going to have, you are going to have to take ethics. Period.
Ethics doesn't buy you that new house in Aspen, does it?
I understand
That's what these hedge funds are paying Jim Cramer, big envelopes of cash under the table, and that's where his ethics ends. He doesn't care about you, doesn't care about me, he doesn't care about retail investors. He's there to push the hedge fund narrative, the bank's narrative.
See, and it's the people, and it is the people that see the problem and try to do something about it, to like start their own, either like well, I'm just going to use mortgages to be an example, but you see a problem in the mortgage industry. You see a problem with, one of the companies that they're just sitting there and selling discount points at an alarming rate because they're trying to maximize their profits. You have, trading firms that are sitting there and not following, well, this isn't my money. I'm not investing my money, so why do I have to be worried about if you lose everything? No. It's always the people that try to go ahead and actually make a difference. It's the people that try to go ahead and try to change for the betterment of people. And it seems like they are the ones that get screwed. What's up, Cornelius? How are you, my friend? Cornelius.
What up, guys?
What's happening, man?
I came up because you know what I think about Kramer? Like, I just feel like they got something on him, and he has to do what they tell him to do, because like you can't be that fucking wrong. And you're talking about like the ethics, and like you can't go on TV and call the wrong plays every day, all day long, and on your Twitter literally calling the wrong plays. I mean, inverse Kramer is a thing because it's real. But you see too, like how emotional he's gotten at times, where he's literally broken down into tears. He's crying because he knows that he's doing something wrong, but he can't stop because they will do whatever it is they're holding against him to him. And he's so fearful of that happening that he does exactly what, they tell him to.
He's told it. Yeah. I mean, when you're learning to be like a loan officer or an underwriter, just to throw that out there, Leo, my leader, will be able to contest to this. The first thing that you need to understand is it making the lives better for the borrower. Is there a benefit to the borrower for doing this? If there's not a benefit, then why am I doing this? Point blank.
Look at, I mean, you can hear him drunk on television. You can hear him drunk in interviews. He seems like he's high on cocaine all the time. Those also are signs of someone like very troubled, about something. They're very, they're very uneasy and upset with their life. And, like I'm saying, he knows that what he's doing is complete fucking fraud, and it's hurting fucking retail investors all across, anyone listening in. He's just giving blatantly like bad financial advice.
Oh yeah. For sure. There's no question in that.
I think they all know their time's running out, and they all got fucking cases sitting, waiting for their asses.
Yeah.
They waiting for your ass, Daisy?
Look at all these
they ain't waiting for
financial
my
people
ass.
stepping down from positions, resigning. You know, you got the Bezos and the Zuckerbergs, selling out, large amounts of shares for large amounts of cash. They're getting out. Whether it's because the markets are going to crash or it's because they're about to get freaking caught, with some fraud and some embezzling and some other shit in their business, and these bankers, they're stepping down from huge positions in these banks and stuff. It's like, that positions they could keep for, 10, 15 more years easy if they wanted to. Why would they be stepping down? It's interesting. You can see there are these tremors like in the institutions in the financial world. You can see these weird signs, so to speak, of like there's something changing.
Well, this is an interesting one. We'll go ahead and we'll post that up above. Space gravy? That's some gravy, baby. That's a gravy train on fucking biscuit wheels right there. Great find. Robert, you should just read the title for everybody.
Shen Yao faces repayment demand amid Balmain Gold's insolvency crisis. Is that what it says?
Uh-huh.
And mine production cuts.
Hoo-wee! Hey, it's all that synthetic gold. It's all that paper gold.
Hey, yo, James.
Mm.
When you gonna watch
What's up, my friend?
Dune 2, man?
I tried going to see it with my kid on Saturday. Yeah, that didn't
Yeah, you gotta
go the
watch
way
it
I
with your
wanted
kid,
it
man.
to.
You gotta watch it with your kid.
No, I
Add the
know.
Dolby. Add the Dolby.
The only Dolby theater by me is and that's the weird thing. They don't have it in like any of the 4 downtown Chicago locations. You actually have to go into the suburbs. There's the one on Tui that has Dolby.
Why don't you go to the one that Soika goes to? Isn't that one like the Super AMC and shit?
No, he's not talking about the one in the River North, which is a nice theater. Don't get me wrong. The amenities are great, but there's no Dolby there. The only Dolby that they have is out. All of the AMC's outside of Chicago, like the downtown area.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so
But you gotta go watch it, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
I will.
But I'm telling you, man, that it's a movie that I don't know, man. Like it sounds like like a fanatic, man. But it's like when you watch something.
The first one was
Yeah,
excellent.
like I mean, it was, but it was more politics. This one is like both, but more action also, and like more. Like it's like you are in the movie, man. Like you're literally in the movie, especially if you're in the Dolby. I mean, look, my wife, she falls asleep to every movie. I'm telling you right now, any movie, she'll fall asleep. But she was awake through this whole movie, the whole fucking movie. She was awake, watching, paying attention. Like I'm talking about. That's how good it was from beginning to end. I'm talking about James. You got to go watch it with your kid, man.
Oh, I will definitely will take my kid to go see it. See, the problem was okay. So everybody remembers the Star Wars movie, like the last one with the girl as the Jedi, and I was sound as a pound in Dolby, and there was no way I was waking up. None. Took way too many gummies that day. Like I was completely cranked from gummies. I had a gummy high. I couldn't help myself. I was literally passed out, and like my kid is literally sitting there like, Dad, wake the fuck up. Dad, what are you doing? You're sound asleep. This is the best movie I've ever seen. Dad, you're asleep.
Yeah, the next.
What?
You know, one thing though, I gotta tell you, man, that when I got to the dope, because this one, it wasn't in Jersey. I didn't go to Jersey. I went to PA, right? So because
Okay.
the one in Jersey, I will have to go up Route One, and yo, you don't want to go up Route One on Jersey, man. Like it's a lot of lights, right? So you would never make it to the movie in time. So I gotta go to PA,
Yeah.
right? So I went to PA, and in the app, in the fucking AMC app, it didn't show that they had a bar over there. I'm like, yo, fuck.
Ooh.
So when I show up, my wife is like, oh, look, they got a bar over there. I'm like, yeah, that's fucking AMC's bar. That's the McCuffin's bar. And she's like, no way. That's not AMC. I'm like, yeah, that's fucking AMC's. It's right there. So I'm like, fuck, man. Now, next time, I'm going to make it earlier so I can buy a few drinks and then I watch the fucking movie. Matter of fact, I really want to do that shit to go watch Dune 2 again, man, to be honest with you.
Nice. I like MacGuffins. They actually do make a really good long. Well, the one in Chicago, they really do make a really, really good Long Island. If you can stomach the
Oh,
Long
yeah,
Island,
that's my
oh
favorite
yeah.
drink, man. Like, well, you know, like I got a few. Like I drink that Long Island when I want to chill, right? Like if I'm home and I do it for the family. Or when I'm at the beach, I take my Henny, man. I mix my Henny with Sprite, Fanta, Coca-Cola, like anything like that. I mix it with that. I like it. Especially or pineapple juice. Pineapple juice and Henny, man, is pretty good at the beach.
Yeah. Or if you want to simulate like you're at the beach. But here, I will give you all a great drink. And I don't know, I like to concoct things or make shit up on the fly whenever I can. So it is effin' cherry vodka. You're going to take crushed ice, like actual crushed ice. You're going to take Simply Limeade. And then to give it a splash of cherry 7 Up. Absolute fire. Absolute fire of a drink. And you'll have like 2 or 3 of them, and then all of a sudden you're just like, what the hell happened? It's a great moment. But I really want to know what you guys think about all of this, because you basically just got laid out a whole blueprint of how the entire system is going to collapse. I know it's ridiculous to think about because you have all these criminals that are going to sit there. Thank you, dog. You have all these criminals that are literally just, I mean, I don't know. They think that they're playing chess when they're really playing checkers. But there's no way that this can be sustained. And there's no way that any of this, it's not real. I mean, you are at unsustainable levels, especially in your SPY right now. Unsustainable. The minute it crossed 5,100, it was above it for a day and a half. I mean, it can't hold that number. You had idiots sitting there saying, oh, it's going to go to 6,000. My left nut, it is. I'll even take the left nut from my diamond balls and put it up there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, take it off right now, James.
Not without a major
Oh.
retracement. I mean, when you zoom out on the SPY, you see that, yeah, there is this ultimate upward to the right trend, but you see every so often, you see these really big retracements. And if you look at the chart and you look at the cycles in the SPY of the bull run up to the next retracement, well, I mean, it's pretty much gearing up for another big old dump.
Oh, I mean, but that's going to be a glorious dump. I mean, go ahead,
My
Robert.
bad. That's from 18, by the way, on the top on the nose.
So the knowledge of Wharton.
Yeah.
Basel III and the risky banking behavior. Too little, too late. Lenient, too late. September 29th of 2010.
Well, what was too late then is for sure fucking well, long overdue
Fucking
now.
light year now. We are in the DeLorean and we've gone. You know what? If you actually watched, Back to the Future, and when they go into the future, the funny thing about that shit is that wasn't it like 2032 from 1984? Like it wasn't like, I mean, what, we're 8 years from then? I don't see no hoverboards for a skateboard, and I don't see cars levitating off the ground.
No, I thought it was like 2016 or 18 or something like that. I don't even think it was that
Oh,
far.
yeah, I mean,
Like, I think we've already
even
passed
better. Even better. So we still don't have hovering cars, and we don't have hovering
Man, that you know
skateboards
of,
either.
James. There might be a country out there that we don't even know about, man, that they flying over there, man.
This isn't. We don't have Wakanda.
We
You
do have a
don't
lot of
know that.
drone
You see, James, we
technology,
don't know
though,
that, man. That's
James.
probably where they're hiding all the money, man.
I wouldn't. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised.
They got that. That's what they
I
got. They
still
got like
don't.
fucking 4 quadrillion, fucking 25, whatever. They have them over there, man.
They got the quintillions over there. They're just chilling.
But you got to remember the available tech to the public is like probably 20 years behind what is actually, what is actually being studied by, the current up to date, like science, high secret, top secret scientists and stuff like that.
I have top men. Well, who are these top men? Top men. Anybody name that movie?
Yeah,
It's an
that's
oldie but a
old.
goodie.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
No.
Do I
Naked Gun?
No.
I was about to say that the fucking 18, man.
Indiana Jones.
No. There you go. The first one.
What year was that? 1948.
Oh,
I'm
I'm not
fucking
that
with you,
old. But I will say, and I'll just tell you all now that I definitely had a crush on Karen Allen at the time when she was in that movie. I don't know why. Same thing with Animal House. Yeah, I thought Karen Allen was a smoke show. That was just me.
1981, I think.
Yeah, that's all. That's an oldie but a goodie. Temple of Doom, not so much. Nah. I didn't really like that one. But I really want to know what I really want to know, and my thought process in this entire ordeal of what is about to happen. I really want to know, and because I do like reading his work, Jeremy Grantham. The guy is just the epitome of intelligence when it comes to market analysis and how he forecasts and predicts what's going to happen. And he's right the majority of the time. I mean, his rights to his wrongs, it's probably like 85-15, which is just absolutely insanity. But 60 to 90% drop in the SPY.
Yeah, and like I
And
said,
since
that's that
then,
retracement that we will have to be looking at.
yeah. But I think he changed. I think recently he changed his forecast, and that was to instead of 90%, it was 85%. like it really matters. If it fell 20% or 30%, I mean 10% they're fucked. 20% they've already dug their grave. 30% they're laying in their grave. 40% there's a dog shitting in their grave. Then there's a cat that goes ahead and has sex with a bunch of other cats on their grave. And all the cat pee stains that have seeped through the ground, and it's just all over them. I mean, it is so bad. I mean, and it's just it's dog shit wrapped in cat shit. It's burnt in a bag and put on your neighbors that you don't like's porch. And you ring the doorbell.
I mean, what would it take to get below like the 2020 low levels? Like, like probably what, 20-25%? Just to get below like those lows.
So hold on 1 second, because I want to do actual math here.
I mean, I'm just thinking like
do
realistic, and I'm not saying that 80 or 90% isn't realistic, but I'm just saying feasibly, even if it was only a retracement.
If it's 25%, you're losing 1,271 points.
Right, and I think the low recently was like maybe like in the 3,900 range-ish.
So let's go to the SPY. And
but my point is, you see these cycles, these retracement cycles, and whether they're macro catalysts that cause it, or if it's just cyclical, someone is
2488 March 30th of 2020.
Oh yeah. So that'd be like almost like a 50%. So yeah, you see that kind of stuff, and you see like basically even if it was just the profit taking, that sort of cycle of like, all right, these institutions their time is up. They've been riding it up. Now they're going to start taking profits, and either way, like even if it's just as simple as that, because they have to do that too. They have to take profits, or they risk losing it. If the market crashes. So it's like, any of these things can happen to bring that downturn. And once that downturn happens, and all these, mega cap, top 7, mega 7, super 7s, have these massive sell-offs from these large institutions. Well, that's what these shorts are holding in their collateral bag. And if those stocks crash or lose 50%, or even 25%. I mean, these guys are going to be in really tough places holding big old bags of shit short positions.
So think of it like this. So you closed out today. Where was the close? 5,078. Okay. If you're taking, let's just take the ultimate. We're going to go 85%. That means your S&P would be at 1,200. And the last time it was at $1,200. Correction. 1271.50. The last time that was like that
2008
was in December 1st. December 1st of 1998.
Oh, dang.
Wow. I mean, you literally, what, almost 30 years? Backward step.
You think about that date. Guess what became extremely prevalent and became the monstrosity that it is today, starting just after that date or right around that date?
It's a really good question, and honestly, I do not know the answer.
The OTC derivatives and swaps market.
Wow. They're our good friends.
So if that market is the everything bubble propping up so many different things, I mean, that guy Grantham, could be looking at, being fucking Zoltron fortune teller, because if that bubble bursts and it has to go all the way back to zero.
Yeah, I mean, there's too many things that lead up to the whole thing. I mean, honestly, burning. It reminds me of this. Hold on. This is. There we go. It reminds me of. I think. There we go. Reminds me of.
Real quick
this.
before. Oh, never mind.
Go ahead.
So posted at the top, Robert shared, and NYCB was JP Morgan top regional bank pick for 2024. Well, it's like, of course, they're not going to tell you their real top pick. They're going to want you to buy the fucking bag that they know is going to be fucking worthless coming up. They've already sold out of it. They've already gotten rid of theirs. They want you buying what they're selling. Back whenever they said that was going to be their top regional bank pick, they know they want you buying so they can sell, and then
they can escape out the back
yeah,
door.
then that rug is going to get pulled.
Oh, Jerome Powell is just itching to do the greatest rug pull ever in life.
Again, it'd be number 2 for him.
Oh yeah, this is number 2. I think it's number 3.
Probably number 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's number 3. But this is exactly what is about to transpire.
Should have taken my deal. Six fucking innocent people. Is that how you want to play us? Huh? It's okay. It's okay, Nick. I know you're angry. That's good. That's what it takes. What has to be? What if I said you were fighting I was wrong? What if I had said, let's take him to trial, huh? Then I would say you're making progress. And we might have lost. And Ames and Darby will both go free. Don't you get that? You didn't care, Nick. You didn't even try. You could have walked out of that courtroom with your head held high. I could have lived with that, Nick. I'll keep my head up. And you in this. I'm just getting warmed up. This is Von Clausewitz shit. Total fucking war.
fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gotta be biblical.
I'm going to bring the whole thing to your fucking head. It's going to be biblical. 100% truth right there. Law-abiding citizen. Gonna burn it all to the fucking ground. And honestly, and that is the sad part of all of this, is that they had the opportunity. They had the opportunity. And I'm not even talking about, getting out when they could have gotten out and we squeezed and everything else. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about actually saving the economy. They had the opportunity. They could have easily have done this. And I know Cornelius and I have had debates about this 1,000 times. But if they had let the debt ceiling fucking just burn and basically let it do what it was supposed to do, and we defaulted on our debt, and everything went to shit. Right now, we would be recovering.
Yeah, and they needed to raise the rates sooner and higher, and
yeah,
they still need to.
They still need to, but it would have been better for everybody now. All they had to do is just let it all burn, because through those ashes, we would have had a stronger economy.
Well, it's like the whole ripping off the Band-Aid thing. You just gotta rip it off, get it over with.
See, now they can't even rip off well, they did rip the Band-Aid. Actually, now that I think about it, they already did rip the Band-Aid off. That's the Bank Term Funding Program and their quantitative tightening.
No, that was putting the Band-Aid on. That was
I'm
putting
talking
little
about
gingerly kisses on the knee scrape.
No, I'm talking about now. By terminating the program,
stopping it. Yeah, they're trying to peel the Band-Aid back a little bit. Yeah, if they raise the rates at the same time, that would be ripping some Band-Aids.
That'd be like ripping off a suture off of your fucking leg right now.
And you're coming up with a meeting to discuss whether or not they're going to raise or not, right? Isn't that sometime this month?
I think it's the 20th. Yeah.
I mean,
well, no, it's normally on a Thursday. The FOMC meeting. Now I'm gonna look up next FOMC meeting.
You imagine if they went with 75 basis points, just bam, just said
everything would tank.
It would be so good, though.
It would be so great because you guys are all prepared for this. That's why it would be great. But oh my God, you want your shitstorm? You want everything to fucking tank and watch AMC start to move? I mean, not a move. Let's just say a long fucking. You're throwing from way out in left field and you're trying to get the home plate type of throw. And that's where the price is going. Just through the roof. Right at that moment. There is nothing that would be able to hold that thing back if they raised 75 basis points. No way. That would be glorious. And do you know how much shit Jerome, Mr. Burns Powell would get?
They'd probably kick his ass out.
Oh, I guarantee you they would probably fire him right then and there. I don't know who would take... Oh, Buckeye's up here. Buckeye, do you know who would replace Mr. Burns Powell?
He's a lawyer. I don't know.
Okay.
That's a tough question.
I know. You're really good at the history of Fed chairs. That's why I was curious.
Janet Yellen.
Oh my
Tinkerbell.
God, not. Oh my God,
Get
no.
ready for her.
Yeah, I would imagine that they're gunning for her in that position.
No, God, no. How?
Here, let me throw a wild card. Gary Gensler.
I would throw up.
So when people throw Gary Gensler, when did Gary Gensler come online again?
March 21.
And who was before him?
You know, he's going back to the Clinton machine there, so I think that's right on the money there. Gary Gensler's the next guy.
Who was before Gensler?
Bernanke.
No, Bernanke was 2008. It was Jay Clayton.
Oh, Clayton, yeah.
And where's Jay Clayton at now?
Probably with hedge fund.
No, he's with the law.
J.P. Morgan.
No, he's with a law firm.
Who
did the FTX?
Cromwell.
Yeah, Simon and Cromwell.
Go figure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and Simon Cromwell's getting sued.
Why does that not come as a surprise?
Yeah.
They probably get sued a lot.
Yeah, I could only imagine.
Well, they're in a pretty big pickle because they did the FTX bankruptcy, and they were people that started FTX and the people that walked them through the first part and then walked them through the bankruptcy part. So I think Dog with the Hat has some tweets out about it.
Dog.
Oh, well, Sam dropped them from his counsel, didn't he, for the sentencing?
Yes, he did. But there's a case that opened against him recently, in the last week or so.
They really. How does the Bankman fraud have like any way to actual legal counsel? I'm just curious. That's not like court appointed. Well, I mean, he doesn't have any money.
They're just all They're all just siphoning money out of FTX to pay for his legal fees.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's exactly what I would not do. But yeah, sure. I mean, I just,
Sam doesn't have any money. He's fucking broke.
He's got
bankrupt.
He's got a big bag of dick. That's all he's got.
Yes, dicks.
Yeah.
Well, I think his parents are paying for it. I think, probably some fucking politicians that got donations are probably kicking him a little money to pay for lawyers.
I mean, the donations that were given to our to President Ice Cream.
Yeah, he's one of them.
Yeah, he didn't return that money. I can guarantee that one.
Oh, well, they don't have to.
Yeah, so the FTX investors sued Simon and Cromwell. Sullivan and Cromwell.
As they fucking should. They're mishandling this bankruptcy proceedings for sure.
Yeah, they're split in the dry. That's for sure.
I mean,
so you go down. It's like a pretty deep rabbit hole to go down with that. I just, whatever. But you brought up Basel and Basel III. So Basel started way back in 1974, and then we had our 2008 thing, right? And then that's when they created this Basel III. So these people keep fighting these rules. They've been fighting rules for Basel I, Basel II, and now Basel III for decades, 50 years. So the little bit of an article, if you don't mind, can I just play like 2 minutes, maybe a minute
Sure.
Of this thing real quick. Let me see if I can get this set up. All right, give me a second here. Let's see if this works.
Yeah, I mean Basel, and it's just like the CAT system now. It's like, CAT system reform stuff has been in the works since, I don't know, 2014 or earlier, 2012 maybe.
Yeah.
And it's still, is barely, I think they've had a couple phases of it pass, but most of it is still just being pushed back and pushed back and pushed back.
That's because I know it will expose too much. You can't look like the bad guy. You just can't.
Well, you can't be in the driver's seat. You got to set yourself up so you're long gone. You've got your money and you're gone when the jig is up. So they all play this game. And like I said, looking at these heads of these banks and these things like that, all these people stepping down, well, that's what they're doing. They're setting themselves up to be long gone and far away from this shit when it hits the fan.
Risky banking behavior.
For sure.
Too little, too lenient, too late. As the world haltingly recovers from the recession, regulators are struggling to modify the financial system to prevent another crisis. The latest effort, stricter capital requirements to help prevent large banks from collapsing under the weight of unexpected losses. The new proposals, called Basel III for the organization that coordinated the negotiations, the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, are designed to reduce risk-taking by increasing a key capital requirement to 7% of assets from the previous 2% international standard, and the 4% used by large U.S. banks. But the committee, worried that discouraging banks' willingness to lend would slow the recovery, recommended phasing in the rules over 8 years. While many experts say the proposals move in the right direction, some critics say the rules are too weak and too slow to take effect. Quote, "I'm not impressed with its rigor," says Wharton finance professor Richard J. Herring, arguing that such rules would have done little to prevent the bank failures that required government bailouts in 2008 and 2009. It still doesn't require as much equity capital as all the major banks that required intervention had in the reporting period before they failed, and the lengthy phase-in period means it will only get weaker before it actually is put in place. End quote. According to Wharton finance professor Franklin Allen, the proposed rules would improve bank safety somewhat, but he worries that regulators have focused on narrow issues without adequate study of the more complex interactions between banking, the financial markets, and the world economy. Quote, "It's not clear exactly what the problem they are solving is," Allen says. Basel III is meant to assure that banks have enough capital on hand to continue lending in a weak economy, and to avoid the kind of crisis that shook banks in recent years.
It sounds like the same arguments that Citadel make against,
Yeah,
like I said, against the CAT system.
That's from 2010.
I mean that was an eon ago.
And
Yeah,
look
but
at the amounts of collateral required
matters.
going from 4% to 7%. I mean, this is like minuscule compared to their risk when you look at the amount of leverage they put into their risk, and they become over leveraged by, hundreds of percents of their asset
Let's go
value.
thousands.
I mean, you're on, yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
Tens of
realistic numbers.
hundreds of percent
Yeah.
over leveraged in risk associated with swaps and associated with counterparty risk in those swaps, and you're only asking for 4% collateral to be held.
Yep, and that's what they've been fighting since 2010, since this came out, and this is supposed to be the fix from 2008. This is what they've all been fighting.
It's so ridiculous.
I realized
mean,
it's 15 years ago or 14 or whatever.
Right. And at this point, it's just become a waste of time and money.
They keep fighting it. That's the banks do. So to me, that's telling.
And what you hear every single time is, well, you see, it's like this. which just screams bullshit. If you ever hear anybody say that, well, you see, it's like this. I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to pay for it. It will always start, well, you see, it's like this.
Yeah, by the time Basel 3 is implemented, it's not enough, and you already need Basel 8 to be in place.
Basel 25?
Basel 3 was supposed to be implemented in 2020, but because of the COVID thing, it got pushed. It was supposed to.
Right, COVID had the exemptions on a lot of that stuff.
Start in, it then allegedly started in 2023.
They should take out the word Basel and now change it to Anarchy 99.
Yeah. I mean, this is not just the United States. This is the world.
They should call it Pussyfoot. It should just be called Pussyfoot.
Oh, Pussyfoot.
There's like 30-some nations involved. It's not just the United States.
Oh, I know. I still like Anarchy. It's Anarchy 99.
But, I mean, the Basel 3 thing's a rabbit hole for many. I mean, you can go on for days on it. I just pointed out that this is what they're fighting, and you guys brought up, or someone brought up, Basel 3, and I'm like, holy crap, this is like, they've been fighting this for a long time, and they still fight it, and they never solved 2008, is my point, since that's the title of the space.
Nope.
It was never fixed. They
if you want to read about Basel 3, just do me a favor. You know, if you're in the bathroom and you have some good reading that you want to get done, like after a night of drinking and you got like the beer shits or the booze shits, just go sit on the toilet and you can read all about Basel 3, and you will be so knowledgeable that your knowledge of Basel 3 will wipe out anybody's, period. All you got to do is just get hammered and go have some beer shits, and you can read all about it. It's great toilet bowl reading.
I would say start with the Basel doctrine, which starts in 1974.
Perfect. You'll probably be able to get up to where you were at now.
Yeah, it goes into all kinds of different things. And you just, if you go into the Bank for International Settlements wiki page, you'll see certain things.
No, you actually need the paper form, because after you're done taking your shit, you can use the individual pages to wipe your ass with.
Well, you'll want to puke and drink more tequila.
Yeah, exactly. So this way you're going to be able to read the entire thing and be able to wipe. Because that's what it is.
Yep. But it's not, I just want to make it clear that members are from multiple countries, not just the United States. Just wanted to point that out.
And some of those countries, I mean, still have rotary phones and dial-up internet.
Well,
I'm joking around. But
yes and no. Some of them do. Like, I mean, Argentina probably so. But the rest of them, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, South Africa, Spain, they're all pretty much on the up and up. But you can just even Google Basel Committee on Banking Supervision. Just Wikipedia page that, take 3 minutes, look, and go, oh, this is what they're talking about when they say Basel.
So do the members have like the curly mustaches at the end on either side, like the handlebar mustache with the curls, like the Monopoly guy?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure. Because do they wear the monocles as well?
I don't know.
And have top hats.
I've been in this rabbit hole since 2022, so I wanted to share my pain with everyone else.
You know what? That pain should be shared with a good brandy.
That and the
just for Basel.
If anyone didn't know, there's another our friend Greensill. I don't know if people followed along with the bouncing ball with Greensill and Credit Suisse. But the Greensill guy sued the United Kingdom today.
Oh, you know he's not going to win.
And it goes in. I mean, if you just can Google search Lex Greensill sues UK, you'll see different things, and who he borrowed money from and who he owed money from. It's absolutely crazy. And now he's suing the UK for misuse of private data.
Probably, and
these
we all
guys
know
are,
he's not going to win.
well, they're all like criminals.
Yeah, that's why they're not going to win. He's not going to win.
Convicted, right?
Yeah, there's no way he wins.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it just goes on and on and on. It's just, Anyway, so good times.
So interesting on Basel. Oh, good old Basel.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand Basel. Like, what the fuck is Basel? But it was supposed to be a fix for 2008's problems, and it never got fixed. They kicked the can, and they kicked the can.
Now, this is a pony keg that basically is full to the brim. You're trying to roll it into position so you could put the tap on, but unfortunately, when you hit the tap on the pony keg, it hits you right in the nose.
It's well, to me, it's more like they put the keg in the paint shaker. You ever seen one of those?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
like
then
5-gallon bucket, and then you're just shaking.
Yeah, and then someone decided to put a tap on it real quick, and they're ready to hit the button.
Oh, now you're making me play this. Hold on. There we go. Sorry, I have to play this now. No, we need.
We've had some great times. When I was 17, I drank some very good beer. I drank some very good beer I purchased with a fake ID. My name was Brian McKee. I stayed up listening to Queen when I was 17.
Oh, God, Homer. Such a great scene. On that note, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for coming. I hope you guys learned something. Please go ahead and take that link that I posted in the first slide all the way to the right. Take that, go ahead, use it for knowledge. Give it to your kids, have them read it so they can actually start understanding some form of economics and what you shouldn't be doing. You can take the first one that I did and also do the same. I will put it up for everybody else. And besides that, I will leave you guys with some funny clips, but Buckeye, your hand is up.
Yeah, I just had a question.
Mm-hmm.
What's the criteria for Robinhood overnight when New York Community Bank is still on there, but AMC is not? And I know no one has the answer for it. I'm just curious.
The only reason that overnight trading is there is for front running, period.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about, I'm a young boy from Bulgaria, and I didn't have an AC, back at home.
Yep, I was just kind of pointing it out. To me, it's weird.
There's no point. The only reason is crime. Literally crime.
He was told not to post that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. On that note, the funniest clips.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah, I stabbed a man in the heart.
I saw that. Brick killed a guy. Did you throw a trident?
Yeah, there were horses and a man on fire, and I killed a guy with a trident.
Brick, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. You should find yourself a safe house or a relative close by. Lay low for a while, because you're probably wanted for murder. I'm proud of you fellas. You all kept your head on a swivel, and that's what you gotta do when you find yourself in a vicious cockfight.
Can you believe Mantooth and the whole Channel 9 Evening News team? Where's your mommy? Someone's got to change your diapers. I'm telling you, this Corningstone business is really hurting our rep.
I know exactly what you mean, Brian. Every newsman in this city's laughing at us. And I don't like it.
I don't like the put-downs.
We're gonna do something about it. It is time to put an end to this. Because last time I looked at the dictionary, my name's Ron Burgundy. What's your name?
Brian Fantana.
Champ kind.
Brian Fantana. No, you're Brick. I'm Brian.
What are we supposed to tell the girls? That we couldn't do the one thing that we promised because we're dickless in confidence? Now we're never gonna bone because of that used tampon Fogel. How do you get in the tournament? I don't get it. He's got shit for brains. All right, how else can we get alcohol?
Yo, guys. What's up?
Fogel, where have you been, man? You almost gave me a goddamn heart attack. Let me see it. You pussy out or what?
No, man, I got it. It's flawless. Check it.
Hawaii.
All right, that's good. It's hard to trace, I guess. Wait, you changed your name to McLovin? McLovin? What kind of a stupid name is that, Fogel? What, are you trying to be an Irish R&B singer? Oh, they let you pick any name you want when you get down there.
And you landed on McLovin.
Yeah, I was between that and Muhammad.
Why the fuck would it be between that or Muhammad? Why don't you pick a common name like a normal person?
Muhammad is the most commonly used name on earth. Read a fucking book for once.
Fogel, have you ever actually met anyone named Muhammad?
Have you actually ever met anyone named McLovin?
No, that's why you picked a dumb fucking name.
Fuck you.
Give me that. All right. You look like a future pedophile in this picture, number one. Number two, it doesn't even have a first name. It just says McLovin.
What? One name? One name? Who are you, Seal?
Fogel, this ID says you're 25 years old. Why wouldn't you just put 21, man?
Seth, listen up, ass face. Every day, hundreds of kids go into the liquor store with their fake IDs, and every single one says they're 21. How many 21-year-olds do you think there are in this town? It's called fucking strategy, all right?
Let's stay calm, okay? Let's not lose our heads. It's a fine ID. It's gonna work. It's passable, okay? This isn't terrible. I mean, it's up to you, Fogel. This guy's either gonna think, here's another kid with a fake ID, or here's McLovin, the 25-year-old Hawaiian organ donor. Okay? So what's it gonna be?
I am McLovin.
No, you're not. No one's McLovin. McLovin's never existed because that's a made-up, dumb, fucking fairy tale name, you fuck!
Jeez, man, it'll work. Give it a chance.
Who did this?
Did what? What are you talking about?
Jizz all over the pages of this nice magazine I was nice enough to tell you about. Was it you, Seth?
No.
No?
It was me, Franco. I fucking made jizz in your magazine.
What?
When I fucking jack off long enough, I end up jizzing, dude. I'm assuming the same shit works for you?
Real fucking smart answer. Why don't you fucking aim, huh?
I have a particularly explosive ejaculate. It just goes everywhere. It's like a fucking wild fireman's hose. You're just gonna grab on and pray to God it doesn't get in your eyes or your mouth.
The fuck kind of jerking off is that? What, you never had any brothers? You didn't learn to jizz in a fucking sock or on a fucking tissue?
No, I don't have any brothers. I was raised in a house of women.
I highly doubt they fucking taught you to fucking close your eyes and fucking come wherever you want.
I mean, you're getting all worked up over a fucking porno mag. Who has goddamn porno mags anymore? Welcome to the 21st century, Buck Rogers. You designed a house with fucking iPads in the walls. Yet you're jerking your dick like a goddamn pilgrim.
That's right, man. I like to fucking read.
You think that's the only thing I jerked off in here? I've been dropping loads around this fucking house like a goddamn dump truck.
You don't come on my stuff.
I'll come wherever the fuck I want, James. I'll fucking come in your kitchen. I'll come on your fucking art. I'll come anywhere I want.
I will fucking come right on you. I will come like a fucking madman all over you, McBride.
Ooh, I fucking wish you'd come on me right now. I fucking dare you to come on me. I'm gonna inject my dick so fucking hard in here.
This? No more, man, all over your fucking face.
All over the fucking place. I'll fucking come anywhere I want. I'll fucking come on these walls. I'll come on the fucking cabinets, on the fucking furniture. I'll come everywhere.
If I see your dick one more time, I'm gonna fucking shoot it off.
You don't have enough bullets, bitch.
No fucking jerking off in my house, McBride.
Fuck this. What? I'm too thirsty to do this, and the fucking bitter irony is I'm not gonna have my thirst quenched until I finish this. God damn it, Danny, no, don't walk away. Danny, don't walk away from me. Seth. I've already walked away too much.
No, you haven't. You could still come back and just fucking turn around and come back and help me.
Ricky, you can walk. What'd you just say?
He's telling you the truth, man. It's all in your head.
You sick sons of bitches. I mean, you walk in that door on your two legs all fat and cocky and looking at me in my chair, and you tell me it's all in my head? I hope that both of you have sons, handsome, beautiful, articulate sons who are talented and star athletes, and they have their legs taken away. I mean, I pray you know that pain and that hurt.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that on us. You are not paralyzed.
I am so paralyzed.
No.
Rough on him now.
No, he needs to know.
Okay.
He's always crying.
Tough love it is. Tough love. Wake up, idiot.
You want to know what I am? You want to see what my life is?
Don't do it.
You want to see what's going on here?
Don't you stick that knife in your leg.
Oh, man! Ow!
Well, hold on.
Ow! Oh, man!
Hold on now. Hold on.
Oh, that hurt!
Walk it off.
Oh, man!
Walk it off.
Ow!
Stretch.
Ah!
Hey, man. You can walk. You can walk.
Wow!
You can walk.
I think I touched a nerve.
Right there.
I think I got a nerve.
All right, we got it. Hold it right there. Hold it right there.
Oh, wait, baby, don't touch it.
Can you feel it?
Yeah!
We'll use this knife to pry it out. We'll pull it out.
Now we got two. Now we got two
No.
in
Just
there.
don't think about it.
We're going down a bad path.
Cut around the meat. Okay. Just stretch it out. Stretch it out.
They got to plug it
Wow!
Right there.
It's like a deer.
We gotta wiggle it just a little bit. That's it. You feel that?
Feel that?
Yeah.
You are back.
I love you guys.
Dudes, seriously, we're here for a reason. Just ask.
Chill, dude. Chill. I'm boiling some eggs over here.
That's
We
great.
got a lot of time to hang out. I'm making a fucking cake.
No shit. Just ask him, man. What are you doing? Don't ask for a piece.
I can't have a piece of that?
No, you can't have a piece. This is private. Do you know what today is?
Tuesday.
This is my cat's birthday today.
I don't see a cat in here. I'm sorry. We let it out by accident?
No, because he died 3 months ago, okay? So now who's the funny guy?
Sorry.
All right? Today is his birthday, and it is a tradition that on his birthday, I'd get up extra early and make him his favorite kind of dessert.
Don't worry, bro. Your cat's going to heaven.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he went to heaven. He was a little fucker. He could have gone to hell.
What do we talk, guys? Ask him. Just ask him, okay? Seriously.
Ask what? Just come straight. What's up?
Yeah, right.
Laying on it, man.
What's going on right now? We need to know about your source. Ted Jones. See, Dale here is a protest servant, and
I'm not. That's not what I am.
Oh,
But it doesn't
well, he's
matter.
not that, but he was outside Ted's house.
Whoa. Look, we don't want to bring you in to what we're in, okay? You don't want any trouble. We don't want to give you trouble. So it's probably best you don't know the whole story, okay?
You don't think I can handle danger?
What are you talking about?
You can.
I totally can. And for you to come into my house and not tell secrets because you think you're saving me, well, in reality, it just makes you look like a dumbass, okay? Because look at this. You see this? You see that? There's no hair under here, bro. Okay?
What's the significance of that?
It makes me aerodynamic when I fight. I can take danger.
Okay. Has anyone called asking about Saul or the Pineapple Express or anything? That's all we need to know. Is it or
It's
There it is, man. Cleared. Over. Everything's fine. I told you, bro. We had a wacky night in the woods, but we both can put that behind us like adults. Now it's time to get super duper high. You got that bong I got you in Tel Aviv?
Bar mitzvah, hit it up, dude.
Yes.
There you go. Why don't you follow his lead and just chill out, man?
I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man.
You don't seem chill.
More chill than you.
You're more chill than me.
Yeah.
Look what I'm wearing. Kimono, dog. What are you wearing?
Suit.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what's up with you, but I don't know if I like you.
Well, I don't know if I like you either, man.
Well, that's your loss because I'm a great friend. I'm gonna use the telefono to call my wife, okay?
Give her a call.
I will.
Go ahead.
Don't pay attention to what I'm saying.
Oh, I won't.
Wait, last thing. I'm also gonna need that extended warranty on it for the price of on the house.
That I can't do.
Now don't be a Negro, be my nigga. All right, help me out.
Hold on. I ain't nobody's nigga.
Well, I mean, you somebody's nigga wearing this nigga tie.
Now you're being condescending. See, you've been warned, all right? Let's move forward amicably.
Okay, well, check this out. Though. First of all, you throwing too many big words at me. Okay, now, because I don't understand them, I'm gonna take them as disrespect. Watch your mouth and help me with the sale.
Okay, see? See, now you found yourself a nigga. You was looking for a nigga? Nigga here now, see?
Okay.
Today's forecast, dark and cloudy, and chance of drive-by.
You wanna go?
Yo, I suggest you move back.
Then Nick, fire off.
Uh-oh. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do, Mr. Floor Manager? Go get him, Tiger.
This shit just got rigged.
What you gonna do, bitch?
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. You know Luke and Perry from 20th and 25th?
You ever heard of Rolling 20s, nigga? Since I was 16, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Frosty. You know what I'm saying? Spoon, nigga. We fuck dwarves in the ass.
Nigga, this dwarf here don't gotta be taller. Pull a trigger off of somebody's face.
Oh,
Nigga.
please,
Good
man,
afternoon.
back up. What's up?
Hey,
What?
Well, welcome to Smart Tech.
Hey,
What
is
can I
this
help
your
you
boy?
with?
Yeah, nigga, we will both mash you. What?
Hey,
what?
how can we
Where you
help
at?
you, sir?
No, he don't need no help. He's already been served. I served him. He's taken care of. He's a little slow, but he got it. See, what he thought was he could come up in here and make the rules, but now he see that Jay make the rules in Smart Tech. Then I run this bitch, and now he about to bounce.
This your boy?
Yeah, that's my boy, nigga. We rep the same Smart Tech.
You just got fucked up with him. Both y'all niggas gonna get clapped up when I get back. Both of y'all niggas.
What did I do?
It don't fucking matter.
Yeah, well, aim high, Willis. Aim high.
Please don't do this.
Well, when Brennan finishes, I'll give you some of this, and it's ketchup and mayonnaise mixed together.
So good.
I want some fancy sauce.
Yeah,
I'm not done using it. Looks good.
Can I have fancy sauce?
of course, of course.
I'm using it right now.
Okay, so let's just
Want to try it, Dale?
let's just let him try some.
Yeah, I really would like some.
Just one last spoonful.
I think you got enough there, Brennan. So here you go.
Thanks.
It's ketchup and mayonnaise.
Ugh. I don't like it. It smells weird.
I'll try some. You want some?
Sure, absolutely. You don't mind, do you, Brennan? You know, okay.
Brennan.
I'm not comfortable.
That's okay. No, it's okay. It's probably not good on fish anyway.
But my dad's king of the castle, so if he wants fancy sauce, he should.
No, it's all right,
If he
Dale,
wants
yeah.
fancy sauce, he can make his own batch.
So you know what? Today, when you were driving around, Dale was telling me that he's really into Kung Fu, and I was telling him that you're really into Kung Fu as well.
I have a green belt. Read it and weep.
I don't believe in belts. There should be no ranking system for toughness.
But one time I wrestled a giraffe to the ground with my bare hands.
It's not true, Dale. Don't be ridiculous.
So Dale, what have you been working on recently?
Well, I manage a baseball team,
Little League?
fantasy league. Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer.
Why don't you stop being so confrontational, Dale?
I'm not the one staring at me.
So, Brennan, how about you? I know you used to work at PetSmart, right?
That's right, Mr. Doback.
Please, call me Robert.
That's right, Robin.
Robert.
Robin.
Actually, Brennan is a really talented person. He's a very gifted singer.
I'm really, really good.
How good?
I've been called the songbird of my generation by people who've heard me. That good.
The only trick is that Brennan's very particular about who he sings in front of. So I'm his mom, for example. I've only heard him sing twice.
It's funny that you say that, because I can sing too. In fact, I'll sing right now. If you want to get down on these hairy balls, why don't you jump right in?
Hey.
It's a crotch party right up in here. Why don't you lick on this big John?
Stop it, Dale.
You guys have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.